Even though we're more than a year away from the presidential election, there are plenty of rumors about running mates. Democratic strategist Emily Tisch Sussman explains the fine art of picking a vice president and why some of the big names from the 2018 midterm races are top of mind.
It's very smart of Elizabeth Warren or any of the candidates to be meeting with someone like Andrew Gillum, who just ran a successful, although he didn't win, but still a very successful campaign in Florida. Gillum was able to pull a lot of people out, particularly in his primary race, more so than the general election, but was able to bring out a lot of unlikely voters. So by meeting with them early, keeping them warm, it makes a lot of sense for presidential candidates to be meeting with him, with people like leader Stacey Abrams, who also could potentially deliver Georgia. Look, there's a lot that someone who is popular in a swing state like Florida or like Georgia can do for a presidential candidate. They could help them line up endorsement on a state level. They could help them engage with activists to help increase their ground game and their ground presence. They can introduce them to donors. There's a lot that can be done for someone to be working with the campaign, even if they are not endorsing them themselves at this point. Basically, the role of what a vice president can do when they join a presidential ticket is just have greater appeal and have broader audiences. It can help with swing states. It can help with certain constituencies. There isn't necessarily a substantive reason to add someone as a vice president. There's not an assigned bucket of work to them. But when Barack Obama chose Joe Biden, a big part of that reason was that he had a lot of institutional experience, which people were concerned about Barack Obama lacking. And he had foreign policy experience, another place that there was chatter, concern that Obama was lacking. And so he balanced it out in that way. It is somewhat ironic, then, that Biden would be looking to diversify his ticket with someone who's significantly younger. So for all of the front runners of the Democratic presidential nominees right now, they are all quite a bit older, and there are new questions about their health, especially after Senator Sanders' heart attack in the last couple of weeks. So there's real questions for a lot of voters as to whether somebody who is a little bit older actually has the stamina to get through the election and to take on Trump. This is where a vice presidential nominee picking someone who is quite a bit younger may actually help them and help balance the ticket, because it shows that they have someone who can help burden the load of all the work that needs to be done and can in some ways act as a little bit of a surrogate. Traditionally in campaigns, you want to keep the presidential nominee, the top level person at the ticket, very clean. They want to be able to have positive looking messages and not punch down. You can then use the role of the vice presidential nominee to be able to do more of those hard-hitting attacks to the opposition. That could be a very good role for particularly a younger vice presidential nominee, especially if any of the top three candidates who are the front runners, Biden, Warren, and Sanders, end up becoming the nominee. This is very early in the process for a nominee even to be considering who they may choose as a running mate. What a candidate like Warren is seeing as an upside of having that conversation is that it shows that they are being truly inclusive in their ticket and their representation. Part of the pre-launch and launch of Vice President Biden's campaign was rumor that he would include leader Stacey Abrams on his ticket as the vice president. It shows that he can appeal to a broader audience. There was a concern at the time that he would not appeal to African-American audiences, although it has been shown that he is. But this is such an unusual race, and it is so difficult for any nominee to break through the media cycle at all and to capture people's attention, that it could be an interesting choice to announce a vice presidential running mate even before the Iowa caucus. It's a way to show that you are serious about running, you are serious about running in a general election, which is something many of the candidates are doing right now, and to show that they're ready to take on Trump. So I think there actually could be some interesting strategy. We've never seen a race like this before, so there could be some interesting strategy to announcing a vice presidential running mate early.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.